to the Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chaudhry and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear. Respectfully.
Welcome back to episode 17 of the Real Estate and Chill podcast.
It's a party, people! It's a party!
I'm your host, James Chaudhry from United Mortgage.
Come on, man, you gotta match my energy. It's Kevin Iglesias, associate broker with Realty Connect USA. Today we have two VIP guests in the building today.
Let's go.
Luis Cardenas and Nick Conti.
There you go.
That was like attempt number 6, right?
You kept messing up his name.
I know, bro.
The easiest one,
name.
man.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
So it's been a while since we shot. It's been what, 2 weeks? We haven't missed 2 weeks in a long time, but we are happy to be back. Happy to have two amazing guests with us today, hitting it back with some Real Estate and Chill on the rocks.
Please introduce yourself.
Luis Cardenas from Coldwell Banker, newly Coldwell Banker. Been in the business for 3 years, and thank you for having us.
What's your
Having
age, sex,
me.
location?
You've got mail.
I'm in Hicksville.
Okay.
Yep.
Age?
What about the rest of it? Come on, Luis.
Come on, bro. Where's your sex at?
Come on, man. We're in the AOL chat room. What's your age, sex, location?
Are you a he, him? Come on, bro.
What else do you want from me? I don't know.
Yo, this
How old
guy.
are you, bro? How old are you?
I'm 34. 34
Okay,
years old.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Let's go back. Nick.
All right, my name. There you go. Hi, my name's Nicholas Conti. I'm a luxury real estate agent from Manhasset, New York. I'm currently with Laffey Real Estate. I focus more on the luxury real estate market and investment properties. So, been in the real estate game for about 2.5 years, and I'm happy to be here.
How old are you, man?
22.
22. Oh, wow. Young guy.
We're the
Young
same
guy.
age.
Nope, he's a little bit older.
He looks
Yeah.
a lot. He looks like the oldest one here.
I've let you down.
So let's jump into it, man. The market right now, it's insane. Oh, we also got Adrian Williamson in the building too. Realty Eats, Long Island. Yes, special guest in the building. That's launching soon, right?
There he is.
Can you come on camera real quick? Just wave. Yeah. All right, let's close up.
There you go.
All right, get out of here, please. Thanks. Yo, the market, it's insane. You're in the luxury market. Can you dive into that? Like, how would you get into that market? Because everybody wants to be in it.
Really, it just came down to prospecting. It wasn't about who you know, really. I mean, for a lot of agents, it is about referrals, who you know, where you're coming from. But I didn't start off with that. I pretty much jumped into it, full head prospecting, and just getting buyers from agents at open houses. I worked with them. I worked with their clients, and I just started cold calling. First day in the office, I got my first listing. First day in, it was a rental listing, and I just started cold calling for rent by owners, and I just hopped in there, hit the phone. Some guy in Hollis picked up, and he was like, I was like, hey, can I rent your place? There's no fee upon you, all to the tenant. And he was like, all right, come over.
And that was a luxury. That was
my first rental listing, and then
Okay.
from there on, I just moved on to calling expireds, FSBOs, and just prospecting areas. So first step was certainly getting the buyers, because that actually gave me a reason to talk to these people instead of BSing them.
Yeah.
And I would get that from either Zillow leads. I was a big proponent of Zillow leads at first, and also just doing open houses.
Boo.
You know, I tried to prospect mortgage brokers to help pay for it, but you know, I just took it upon myself.
James-
Mortgage
cheap.
brokers that you
So,
work with, they suck.
Damn,
You know?
shots fired.
Yeah, I'm
shots
joking.
fired.
It's me.
Yeah, never wanted to buy it.
I told you it was worthless.
I've been waiting about a month and a half for door hangers right now.
Yo, let me tell you why he's been waiting. Yo, Nick.
It's paper, man.
Did my assistant reach out to you last week telling you to fill out the information we need for it?
No.
Yes, they did.
You
I will get verification.
So I could let you know that usually the people who I work with, they just fill it out for me.
I can't do it. I'm sorry,
man,
Nick. I can't.
do
We
it.
have to have you do it.
So
I'm
how'd
sorry.
you get your first? All right, so you got the buyers.
My first luxury listing, I leveraged my buyers that I had from Zillow leads and open houses, and just started cold calling and told them, hey, look, I'm #1 agent on Zillow right now. I have a lot of buyers looking in your area. If you are interested in selling, give me a call, and I'd be happy to come over and give you a price on your property. I got into one. From there, I just moved up. I got the listing. We actually from there, it just kept escalating. You know, I used those to prospect more. I told them about the last sale. I told them about other agent sales from my office in the area, and it helped just get in and all tied together as a team, because we are a smaller brokerage. We're not a Douglas Elliman, Daniel Gale. So I used and leveraged my own team and said, hey, we all work together in our office. We have buyers. We could all do it together. And that helped me open up doors to the 4 million, the 5 million, the 6 million, 8 million, 10 million. And each one just kept building and building, and it all comes together.
Take notes,
end.
people. He's giving
You know?
you the game on how to get into luxury listings.
Yeah.
And he's only
22. And a lot of people forget, it's sometimes just going back to the basics, cold calling, door knocking, and
with door hangers that you have.
I just skip out on the door hangers because mortgage people can't get it done most of the time. So,
All right, here's what we're gonna do. When I finally give it to him, I'm gonna pull up some verification, put it right here on this thing, right here. You're gonna see it right here. Sent to Nicholas Conti about the door hangers. You're gonna see I do my job properly, but you're gonna get it. Don't worry.
Yo, what was your thoughts when you first got that luxury listing? Like, what was going through your mind? Because that's big at 22 years old.
Well, all right. So first you have to define luxury because it's different in everybody's eyes in perspective and price. So some people think $1 million and above is luxury, and it's true. So like my first listing, hard listing that I got for sale was a property in Astoria. It was a 2-family over in Astoria, and that was at 1.2. So after that, then the next one was a 1.6. After that, it came down to I don't even remember. I think it was 2 million. And then from there, it was a 4.8, 5.5, 5 million, 9.8, 3.5.
Flexing.
So
Flexing.
it just.
I told him to remember
Light
the
flex.
last 10 sales he has, and he actually believed me.
No, I didn't believe me. I didn't believe me at all.
Yo, you've seen the show. You
I've
gotta
watched the show so many
remember
times. I know
That's
everything
awesome.
about it.
Are you
All right,
subscribed,
my
though?
No.
Yo, get this man out the building. Yo, Mike, get this man out the building, please. Yo, Adrian, bodyguard. Yo, get this guy out the building, bro.
Damn.
Oh, man.
All right, you got to pull out your phone and subscribe now. Luis.
Right now.
Right now.
Talk about verification.
I got you.
Come on, man. Don't be too luxury in this building. Luis, man, talk about how you got into the game and, your success.
So in 2013, I went to start doing BPOs, broker price opinions. So I could like real estate stuff. That was
I told you that's what it was. Broker price opinions.
that.
What did
Yeah.
I say it was? I probably didn't even know.
So that's basically a lot of appraisal banks have a portfolios. They want to know what their stuff is worth. They send it out, and I had a little BPO mail that I was doing probably 200, 300, 400 a month. Once you see the market start, the only way to make money there is to do it in volume. And once the stuff's getting resolved, short sales start getting resolved, people starting either losing their homes or resolving those issues, you could see the market changing. Then I made a shift. In 2017 was the first time that somebody referred me because I knew I had a license. And I said, yeah, let me try it out, see what happens. And I got a buyer to buy a property. It took me a few months. I literally showed that buyer maybe 40 properties. It was insane. It was probably trial by fire. But I got through it, learned a ton. And then that same buyer called me maybe 9 months later and said, hey, they found out after that it was my first. So at the closing, I'm like, oh, congratulations on your first closing. And they were like, wow, you did really well for your first. You did really well. And 9 months later, they contact me and they say, hey, you helped us out. We want to buy another one.
Oh,
and
wow.
so at that point, I said, wait, maybe I'm kind of good at this. Maybe I have
just
something.
a little bit.
Maybe I have something going on. And I really just put my foot down and I pushed through. And, it's like Nick said, I started kind of hanging out around the office with the heavy hitters and making myself available. Hey, do you have this? What can I help with? What can I help with? And before you know it, you're rolling. Social media helps a lot nowadays to get started, to get the ball rolling. And it's been good so far.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's how a lot of people start when it comes to hanging around the office, getting in with the open houses.
Yeah.
'Cause that gets you some of your first clients, and it really helps. A lot of agents at open houses don't even want to deal with their clients.
Right.
So they're like, we go to the open house. You could take the clients. If somebody comes by it, we'll take that, and you could take your clients and just let you on your way.
I think a lot of it has to do with being open, with being willing
Available.
I think we were talking about that before. Just asking questions, being available. What can I do? Be of service. I think this industry for years has had, you're in sales, and we sell things, items, but we're also in the service industry. We are helping people
100%.
throughout the process.
We're in a people business.
And so to get offers accepted, to get buyers, to get sellers, everything is a people's business. And if you can't be open and sometimes a little bit charismatic, it'll open doors.
All right, let's just applause that Nick subscribe. You subscribe, bro?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's just applause.
Yeah.
Finally, man, we about to kick you out, but
Yo, I just remembered. I don't even subscribe to the channel.
how
I'm
you
joking.
not? Yo,
I'm joking.
I'm about to. Yo, Adrian, you're gonna have to beat these two guys up outside, yo, bro. Yo,
I was just joking.
break some ribs. But yo, what's one of the craziest things you've seen in the luxury homes? Like, yeah, this is luxury. Like, what the hell?
Oh, like this is luxury.
Yeah, like yo, this is luxury.
Man, that's a hard one.
Like James Bond stuff.
I mean, one real cool
007?
thing. We had a sale in New Hyde Park. This was really cool. This house, I mean, it's New Hyde Park. It was one of the most expensive homes sold in New Hyde Park.
How much?
And it started at 1.6. We ended up closing at 1.35. But man, this thing had a full bank vault that had air circulation in the basement. The concrete walls were 16 inches thick all around, plus a bank vault door.
Yo, did you actually was in that bed?
It was a new construction. It was a new construction.
Oh.
So there might have been something buried in the cement. Who knows? But it had its own air circulation system, 360 cameras in and outside the house, and then outside the house it had storm shutters, metal storm shutters that come down and like lock down the property. So there's a security system on the outside shutter, on the windows, and on the screen. And it locked around the full property. Every window, every door had these metal shutters that came down on it. That was really cool. And that was at a that was at a 1.3 house.
That is sus.
Yeah.
I don't know what went on in there.
And then another really cool listing was this property I showed, and then we'll see what happens with the listing side of it. But it had almost like the Vatican, a painting. It was hand painted, a similar painting to like what the Vatican is on the ceiling, and that was on their ceiling in their foyer of their house. That was a really awesome thing too.
That's not cheap.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not.
I thought he was going to say like a 40-foot yacht in the backyard.
Right?
That's cool.
But all right, Luis, one thing that you brought up on your Instagram is like you're getting offered money. Are you guys get like the luxury market to, medium prices?
Right.
What do you see like the difference there?
In how people do business?
Just in general. Because a $1 million listing is totally different from a $500,000 sale or $350,000.
100%. I mean, the higher end stuff, there's definitely a lot less demand for it. Huge demand, but I mean, obviously not in the volumes of that range. I had an offer in Bethpage. I was helping a family out. It was a $450,000 house. It had 100 offers on it.
Dang.
100 offers, not showings. That was crazy.
What about you, Luis?
I don't have a pessimistic outlook, but I am seeing because of the listing side. When you're working buyers and listing, I think I'm 50-50 right now. You get to see both sides of the coin, right? And I'm seeing a little bit of, I'm working those buyers, and for months, let's say November to February, March, it was impossible to get a listing, an offer accepted. You were getting beat out by 50% down payment, over asking by crazy numbers.
Cash
over the
offers.
last cash offers, a lot of people just cashing out and moving over.
Boo.
Yeah. So
Who needs this guy?
what happened? Yeah.
I don't.
Close in 3 weeks. Bye. No,
Sight
but,
unseen.
but I think that's changing a little bit. Things are starting to calm down. I don't think there is. I think the bidding wars are still there, and the prices are still high. There's just not 100 offers anymore. You're seeing 50, which is still a crazy number, just proportional.
That's still a lot of offers.
That's an unusual number, but let's say 20. We're seeing maybe 12, 10, 8, so there's the offers are still 30, 40, 50 we're asking.
Yeah.
So if you're not coaching your buyers, you're not going to get the house, even if there's less competition, because the numbers are still
What
there.
are you doing to coach them?
Sometimes they have to lose a couple. There's a learning curve that you can't teach. Sometimes a couple of knocks in the stomach from like, hey, I know your grandpa said that you should offer 40 under and negotiate, because that's usually what happens.
That was in 1970.
My dad told me that I've heard these things. Like my dad told me, we should offer like 20 under to be at like 10 under. And I'm like, maybe we should reconsider this. And sometimes you got to let them make their own decisions. You bite the bullet, you waste a little bit of time so they learn on their own that, hey, and you coach them through that. Hey, we lost. I do a lot of, screenshots. Hey, look,
Your dad
this
ain't
really
right.
happened.
Yeah.
Your dad bought
Sorry,
when the market
Grandpa.
was in a different place. Yeah, sorry.
Just wait. Then they hit you with the father at the inspection,
Right,
and then
yeah.
you're done.
Yeah. Remember that thing called leverage? We don't have it. So
talk about one of the incidents you had, right? Because I saw it on your Instagram.
So I just think you see it, and what he's talking about is I was offered money to in a bidding war. I was offered money at first, and then giving away commissions to make the deal happen. And I know that this happens, but I never thought somebody would be so blatant. It's getting to the point where people literally are saying, it's just so obvious. And so I just thought, and because of the conversation that was had, I thought it would be a good idea to bring it up and just make it open. Like, first of all, it matters who you work with, right? It matters what kind of, what people think about what they're doing, or if they wanted the dollar today and forget about the referral business that's going to come after that.
Reputation is everything in this business.
And you have to go to sleep at night. If you think about it, if I take that deal just for the money, and it was $2,000. It wasn't like they were making, it wasn't like they were offering $10,000, $15,000. It wasn't.
That would have changed your mind a little bit.
This conversation wouldn't be here right now.
That video would have
My heart would have.
Yeah, we had a clean cut deal here. 22%, 2%.
nothing shady about this offer whatsoever. This is a perfect deal, people. Let's go.
$25. No, I thought it was worth making the point that this happens, and I didn't throw anybody under the bus, but I was bringing up to the light that this happens, and it matters who you work with, and nowadays people will do whatever to get a deal, and it wasn't. So the offer, we were 50 over asking the top offers, and their offer was at asking price. So I told them, I'm like, you're not even in the ballpark. Like, your $2,000 are not even. Even if you double that and put it on top of the offer,
It wouldn't
still
even
not
tickle. Like, it doesn't do anything.
So it's crazy how there's people still out there willing to do anything, and I think the cream of the crop will still get to the next level. When the market, if the market goes down, those people will still push through and still be doing business, and the people that don't do business the right way will still get washed out and go to the sidelines. So
Nick gave us some insight of what he did and still does to get leads and prospect. What do you do? Because you do a lot of social media. Our boy Adrian over here does a lot of social media too. He gets a lot of business from it. Do you guys get a lot of business from your social media?
yeah.
I've only gotten like a few things. I've gotten an offer from social media before. You were around for that. It was literally I posted a photo. It was
I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember.
It was a 5-family building in Sunnyside, and I posted a photo on my Instagram. Some guy hit me up. He was like, "Yo, send me over the numbers," and I sent him over the numbers. And then same day, he was like, "I'll give you 1.7."
Really?
Yeah.
So you were representing both sides?
Yeah, I would have.
Oh, but you didn't?
No, it didn't go through. He wanted it vacant. We couldn't give it vacant.
Oh, man.
But it was like 1.7. That was it.
What about you, Luis? Do you get a lot of
Yeah,
leads?
I mean, most of the reason why I was able to grow quickly with social media because it's free or,
Nice.
cheap, and it's a good entryway. I came more from the informative part. I'm just giving out information. I think that builds a little rapport. People realize that you know what you're talking about once you're doing a few deals. And
Followers matter.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Yeah,
many followers do you have? That you get, like,
1,000.
nice
So
business
I started with 365 followers. Like, I started from literally my family and my
I only got
neighbors.
10 people. What the heck?
And my neighbors. And now, but I think numbers, quality matters. I'm following only buyers or sellers. I'm not following a lot of the noise that's going on around real estate. So I think I'm at a little over 1,000 now. So I tripled in 2 years, just from doing what I do, trying to be funny, keeping it light, and also inform people what's going on.
His videos are funny on Instagram. If you haven't watched them, you gotta
Yeah,
watch
I've seen
them.
your
You gotta
videos.
watch them, people.
The
You
reels
did
are
a
very
D-
high quality, too.
Yeah, you did a DMX one. I was like dying on the floor.
So
man.
the reels changed the game.
L is for the way you look at me. Oh.
Something new.
the reels changed it to me from
It's like
being
Instagram, TikTok, basically.
from being talking about the market and talking about the deals that are happening to being funny, because I'm not a funny guy, but I think it's fun. Some of the things that happen to us in the business are funny.
Yeah.
And if you could be present and hone in on those things and kind of bring them up and spin them, that gets laughs, that gets a lot of views, and then
What's your followers like, man?
What?
Yeah,
Oh, I
actually,
got like 5,200.
5,200.
Yeah.
That's a good following. I've only been on social media since March. I got like 500.
Yo, I got
You'll
like
get there.
5,100. I'm right under you. But honestly, like, I think that my thing is, I feel like it's such a good idea to diversify. Basically, I like to diversify into like different things. I spend some time on this, some time on this, some time on this. One of the big things that actually Nick and I used to do like all the time was Clubhouse. You remember the Clubhouse days? Like,
Yeah.
No, Clubhouse is dead.
it's dead now.
It's not
but
dead. Not dead.
I think I don't use it anymore personally. I just don't have the time to because it's like such a big time.
I'm on
commitment, but
MySpace.
I'm sure you are. But that was actually pretty cool. Something I did on Clubhouse is I made a room called the New York Real Estate Room. I've had people like across the country reach out to me, like realtors, and hit me up and say like, "Hey, I have a client that wants to buy in New York. Can you help him out?" I was
Doesn't
like, "Of
use it
course."
though.
I don't use it anymore, but like
He gets
they
so
can-
much business on Clubhouse.
But they actually like come up.
Did
from
you
it.
see those leads from his Clubhouse?
Did I see him?
Yeah.
No, I heard
Me
him.
neither. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
show
point
him.
of this?
He can use
No,
them.
what's the point of this? Man's a little talk. Man's a
What do you
little
want
talk.
me to do?
No
No, you're
door
right.
hangers.
You know what?
No Clubhouse leads.
No
Like,
Zillow leads, nothing.
Yo, come on,
You know
man.
what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you every single lead I got from there, and then we can take care of that. That's how I should show it off. Yeah.
Maybe we should duct tape his mouth shut because I don't believe this
But
man.
social media, it's not everything. I think it helps and it gives you exposure. But the stuff that he's doing, which I don't do, I'm not comfortable enough on the phone to do cold calling.
You don't need to. Like, look, that's the that's what I tell everybody. So like everybody's like, like, oh, I don't like cold calling, I don't like door
Yo, it's the
knocking.
best.
But I do.
Like,
But I do door knock.
But you don't need that. Yeah, exactly. So,
So
you don't like
the
cold calling,
basics-
go door knock.
Right.
Like
You
don't
have to do something,
You don't
yeah.
like door knocking and cold calling. Go to open houses. Go solicit in a different way.
Right.
Go stand outside a train station, hand out flyers, whatever you want to do. There's 1,000 different ways that you can meet people.
There is, yeah. If you are expecting to survive in real estate for the long term only in social media, you're gonna be dead in the water real quick. Because there are months where nothing happens, and there are months where everything happens.
I think you should be lead generating every day. It doesn't matter where you go. You should be talking to everybody and anybody about real estate.
Yeah.
That's the only topic that everybody's talking about right now.
Right.
Not only that, but you guys are full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's the only thing. That's our bread and butter.
I
That's
think
how
the
we
best part of
survive.
social media though is just the networking. Like
Yeah,
for me
huge,
personally, like
huge.
that's like I don't really go after clients directly off social media. What I mostly do is I like to broaden my network and meet as many people as possible.
Yeah.
I think that's like that's like a very strong part of Instagram, especially.
That was-
You just follow like so many people.
Well, that was one of the
you know?
cool things about Clubhouse. Like I have so many friends and I've met so many people all around
Yeah.
the world that I've built relationships with that are like, hey, if I get a referral coming down, I'll definitely send it over to you. I got a great buyer who I'm working with right now. I'm negotiating a $5 million deal off of Clubhouse.
Wow.
You get a lot of interesting buyers. You get buyers, sellers. You get other agents who refer you. I had one guy. It was so funny. I hopped into a room one day, and they threw me up on stage, and they were like, "Introduce yourself." So I said, "Hey, my name is Nicholas Conti. I'm from New York City." And the guy was like, "New York City? Hold on, I got you. I got a 2-family that I can refer to you." And straight up, and he was like, "I got a 2-family to refer you. I'll message you right now." He sent me a DM really quick. And me and him have been talking still. We're trying to work it out. And
Romance.
It should be a listing out in your area in Suffolk.
Yo, don't come over here.
So,
Don't come over here. Refer that over here.
but it's by Lake Grove, so we'll see what happens. And I was surprised. I just walked in, and imagine you do that every day, all the time. You'll
Yo, are
definitely
you
get stuff.
subscribing right now too? Because if you are,
No,
bro.
I was seeing if I have any of the conversations from Clubhouse. But I don't.
Anyways,
He doesn't even follow me on
anyways.
Instagram.
All right, so you like to cold call, right? I love cold calling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of the easiest ways to generate leads. And do you use a script?
No, I just
don't
go off
need-
my head.
Same thing, yo. Adrian can attest to this. He sees
Yeah.
me like calling all the time.
Yeah.
It's all about clicking with them.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You have to be personable.
And keeping them on the phone.
Yeah, like you have to catch their interest. Everybody's calling them saying, "Hey, I'm so and so. I've sold this." Nobody wants to hear that when they're on the phone. That's just a sales pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you connect with them, it's easy. Like this guy, I tell you, I'm sitting in the phone, like office yesterday, just making calls, banging calls out. Actually, not yesterday because it's getting lifted when this airs, right? That Kumo thing. We're not supposed to be cold calling, blah, blah. We'll cut that out. We'll cut that clip out. We'll cut that out.
Oh, take him down. Listen, the
Don't
people,
look for me.
The
What
people
was your last name again? Hold on. Libor?
Take him out the business. No, the people that are complaining about cold calling are not cold calling anyway. So there's nothing,
That's the point.
They're really,
That's why they
there
want to
really
complain.
You know what it is? People get too scared. You know, they let that fear take over them. And like you said,
And
they
they don't-
weren't busy before.
And they don't like to handle rejection, you know? Dude,
Wait, but tell me
I
what's going on now.
laugh
Is it
so
still-
much.
It ends tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I was cold calling
is it really?
Sorry for
tomorrow.
cutting you off.
Is it ending tomorrow?
Yeah, I got the email.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the funniest stuff is when like you pick up the phone and somebody's really angry and they're like, "Yo, fuck off!"
Yo, this is a family show, Nick. Yo, you gonna have to come beat this man out. Yo, think about it. Get this man away. Carry him out, man. Nah, but Adrian's in the building, right? I called this guy, right? He was blowing me off. That guy that I called, and
You like 2 years ago, right?
that was like tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Seriously, bro. First, no, you don't subscribe and you leave your. About to be WWE in here. I'm gonna take my turn.
Wait, so real quick, just going back to like what's going on right now. What are all your predictions of the summer? How do you think the summer's gonna pan out to be?
Summer's
I
looking
think
strong.
it's gonna stay steady. Like
Summer's looking sexy.
Yeah. Summer's looking strong. I mean, the market's moving on the high end and low end. I mean, I don't see any slowdown. We're definitely going to see a level off. We're not going to keep going up, but we're definitely
I think it's gonna balance out.
stabilize.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And if your buyers are persistent, the last maybe 2 weeks, I got 3 offers accepted from losing the houses in the beginning. So a lot of people going crazy, making crazy offers, and then getting cold feet. And if your buyers are there and you're following up, hey, what's going on? We lost this house. How's your offer going? A lot of people go, listen, it's very shaky. Just be on call. And you may not be the best offer there. But because you're pushing through the noise, they might just give you the call first. Hey, if your buyer comes up to, if this happens, if you make this happen, you'll get the deal. And I got 3 deals put together out of losing it at first. Nice. So there is a lot of people making crazy offers and then getting cold feet, and the second round of serious people will get the house. So
following up is the biggest thing in the real estate.
follow up on everything, yeah.
I try to touch base with every single one of my clients I have pre-approved every single week, at least once, because I think that it's very important to make sure that they know what's going on. Like, of course, a lot of them are getting to the point where they're just like kind of like getting discouraged and stuff like that, but they got to keep it moving. Like, I always like to remind them why they started the whole process in the beginning, you know?
Let's talk about that though, because you're handing out how many pre-approvals are there? Any like, are you close? Are you getting anything on the contract? Or like how it's been
but
rough?
it's working
or?
a lot slower than it usually is. I would say I've never been this busy before and had this like amount of deals going to contract. It's like my workload is here and like the amount that are in contracts like kind of over here. It's like very difficult because like a lot of the real estate I work with are sending me over buyers like every day, and it's just like I'm getting to the point where I'm getting so many buyers. Not all of them are finding something, but I mean it's okay because like at the end of the day they'll find something eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So
You know, it was funny. I was listening to this commercial real estate agent talk. He's a big time producer, and he was talking about how this year transitioned from 2019 to 2020, and the amount of deals he had to close. He was like, you know, we did almost the same amount of transaction, a little bit more, but had to do double or triple the work.
Right.
He was like,
Yeah.
to get those same deals and the same volume done, we had to do double or triple the work.
So
And,
I have a listing right now in Levittown, and it's that listing that keeps going over asking, that listing where those people came out of, and I'm on my 4th buyer right now.
sheesh.
Third buyer,
fell apart?
50,000 over, fell apart, cash fell apart. And
Cash.
people are back. Yeah, so not falling apart. People backing out.
Ah.
They come in, do it, spend the $500 on the home inspection. They don't ask for anything, and they don't sign the contract. And you don't hear anything. You know when something's going wrong when you don't hear anything. So on the 4th buyer right now, I just think people are thinking, wait a minute, did I just really offer $600,000 on this house, and then
They're coming to their
real
senses.
numbers, right?
Yeah.
So
And not only that, but people are now waiving appraisal clauses
yeah,
now,
everything.
which is scary, right?
Appraisals,
Are
inspections.
appraisals, close whenever the seller
They're offering their
wants.
firstborn kid like.
you know
I don't like Nick that much. Here, take it.
You know what's crazy though? I feel like a lot of the times, like sometimes my clients are asking me to like push certain things, or like certain realtors like, oh, can you get them to this point? it's always important. Like everyone who's listening to this, like if you're a lender listening to this, I don't know who's taking this advice, whatever, but like it's always important to make sure don't extend to the point where you don't know if something can close or not. I think that's like the biggest thing. Like I keep my relationships and I keep everyone happy because of the fact that I can close what I start. You know, so if somebody's saying that they can do something, they're pushing it too far into like a different like gray zone, and they can't end up closing the deal. You're helping nobody. Like I don't even think it's a good idea to do.
And your reputation is on the line too, because
it's
the
not a good
moment
idea.
you F a deal just for being shaky and not extending some people over their where they're comfortable or where they should be comfortable, then that will kill your reputation. For every 10 deals, one deal that you mess up, 10 deals will be.
And I think that everybody
blacklisted.
I totally agree. I think that 3 realtors here. I think
4. Come on, man. Don't disrespect Adrian over here. Yo,
Adrian,
yo.
I love you. All right,
you got to take them all out.
All right, 4 realtors here. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have a lender say I can maybe do it and like go a month into the loan and find out that they can't? Would you rather just have them say no right away and not waste anybody's time?
Yeah, I don't like to waste time.
Like this is literally like exactly what's going on right now, and I'm saving a bunch of these deals because sometimes people are saying they could do things, they can't do it. And like they're pushing it into this area where just like, all right, well, maybe we could do it, maybe we can't. You should know. You should know before you walk in. Depends on what it is, but yeah, if I could do it, I'll tell you I can do it.
You see how you sold himself right there, right? If you're looking for a pre-approval, please call James Chowdhury at United Mortgage. What's
you
your
know
number?
where to reach me.
If they told you they can't do it, I can. Maybe.
I can do it all. Yo, let's talk about
You know what's funny about extending yourself? That I've lost a deal because I didn't push somebody too far. Like in price range, like, oh yeah, I only want to go to 1.5. And they ended up buying for 1.6, and
100,000 more. Yeah, you lost them for that.
Yeah, because
In terms of pre-approval,
they were like the highest thing I want to see is like 1.5. So I would send them stuff for like 1.55, and then somebody else sent something for 1.65, and they got it for 1.6, and I was like, shit, man. I was like,
This you do the right thing. I mean, it was the right thing to do, but I feel that because.
Really, Luis? Yo, what the heck?
Are you serious?
Come on,
I was
man.
calling 911.
Are you
Sit down. Don't dial 911. You saw it, right? 911. And I got a voicemail.
He's like, I'm tired of the insults.
This is a Real Estate and Chill podcast calling again. What's going on over there?
No, but what I was gonna say is they said, oh, we want to make an offer 25 over asking, and I'm like, this house is gonna be too hot, guys. We got to push through, or we really shouldn't. I don't want to just waste time just to make an offer just to make it. The house doesn't sell. We see an open house the weekend after, and they dropped the price, so it really wasn't the right move to make an offer on that house. And they didn't, and we didn't get it. We ended up not making an offer at all, but they could have gotten it if we went 25 over asking, and these people would have been holding the bag anyway. So sometimes
it's
the
a good
gut
time,
feeling.
yeah.
The gut feeling helps, and
It's a good time to be a seller right now.
Yep.
It really is.
Oh, definitely.
Let's talk about inflation though, really quick, right? Because these prices that we're seeing are insane, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when these people want to refi in a year or two?
You can't. That's it. Unless you want to do cash out or something like that. It's gonna be. I'm not gonna say you can't. But the thing is, right now, like rates are obviously so low that it makes sense that if you bought something a few years ago, you want to save some money every single month, whatever the case may be, it could be a good time. They're saying the federal government saying that they want to raise rates in 2023. So what that's saying is inflation rates are so high right now. We're at 6.6%, something like that. And the way that we can really combat inflation is by raising the interest rates. So the interest rates are so low right now that inflation money's just going to keep print. There's nothing they can do about it at this moment. When they start raising the rates, inflation will start taking its point down, and then we'll start to see some leveling off, hopefully. So right now, it's kind of like a good time for you to do what you need to do and take advantage of the market, because when the rates start going up again, it's going to be a different thing. People aren't going to qualify for as much. Your payments are going to be higher. It's going to be a different beast, when that happens. So, got to take advantage of the hands that you're dealt.
But I mean, again, it depends when you bought. If you bought 8 months ago in the middle of the pandemic, you're pulling out equity no matter what.
No, without question.
That's one of the good things about you're buying high, but you're still going high. And right now, we're not looking like we're coming down. We're going to stabilize most likely. So that's one good thing you're going to be able to do. But other than that, everything's staying steady. We're going up. But in terms of real estate, it's
No, I'm saying it's a good time
Yeah.
to buy right now. I'm not saying I'm saying it's a very good time.
When you say the interest rates would go up, what does that look like? Like 2023 looks interest rates
I
at
can't.
what?
There's no
I don't know
crystal
exactly
ball,
what it's going to be.
know?
8%.
But it's going to be. No, I don't know
Back to
exactly what it's going to
1992.
be.
Yo, EPM, are you hiring? About to shoot photos.
Let's just say that like I can't make any predictions and like I don't know where it's going to go. But let's just go based off the fact that we saw rates climb down as far as they did. At some point, there was a lot of money being printed. There's a lot of things going on. Something has to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know where it's going to go, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Like the government said that it's going to be going up. So, don't know where though.
Scary, man.
Scary place to be.
Yeah, you guys are all quiet.
Scary place to be.
If you're a seller, sell now.
Well, that's something we could talk about. How definitely right now I'm seeing a lot, like a standstill almost, in listings coming on the market.
Right.
And in my range, in the low range, in all the ranges, there's not too much coming on. And the feedback I'm getting from a lot of the people on the higher end side is that, look, I want to sell. I'm going to get a good price now, but I have nowhere to go.
Right.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
I can't move out east. There's no inventory out east in Montauk and the Hamptons. The competition's crazy. Yeah, my house will sell in 2 weeks, but where am I going to go?
Yep.
I can't stay here. Can't go to Florida. It's crazy down there. No inventory. So I'm seeing a big standstill there on that end.
I think that it goes in well with the fact that since inflation is so high right now, I don't think that every buyer, when they're looking at buying a house, always thinks this. But, when inflation's on the rise, buying tangible assets that are going to be appreciating in value is a great thing to do. So, it's such a good time to buy for that reason and just hold assets. And if you're selling, obviously you have to get into another home, but you're really getting top dollar right now. I don't know how much. I don't know if it's going to go up, down. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I think I look at it as poker chips. And if you've been playing in the market for a little bit and you have your chips and you have a nice stack and you can pull your chips out right now and go cash out, you should be doing it. Because if you're going to keep playing, there might be a chance that you're going to lose some of that stack. You're probably not going to tank out. I don't think that anybody's expecting right now you go all in and you lose all your chips.
I like that
But
analogy.
if you pull out your chips now, it's like selling high, right? But then again,
You're
people
buying
are
high.
nervous about where they're going to go.
And they're buying high. That's the other thing,
I'm missing that. I don't know what the luxury market is, but I have a seller right now that's selling in Levittown. They're pulling their chips out and they're renting for 2 years and they're going to wait out to see what's going to happen. If you could get into a rental, that's nice. Something that you're going to feel comfortable in. And if you can swing it, you're going to put your money in the bank, put it to work, and then wait for the market to do what it's going to do and then get back in, whether it's going to be in the state or it's going to be out of state, wherever you're going to decide to go. So that's another strategy. That's a strategy that I'm, and I know that finding a rental is probably as hard as finding a property to buy, but it's a lot easier when you're pulling out equity and when you are a better renter than anybody else.
Honestly, that poker analogy was honestly amazing. I love that.
This is just random, right? This is just happens all the time.
inflation. We're printing.
So
No, that's amazing. I love that analogy.
what is something like one of the craziest things you guys ever seen, like going to a listing?
One time, I think these people do it on purpose. The nudes, like people walking into a listing, and they're like in their towel, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were coming." Like, what do you mean? We knocked on the door 27 times and rang the doorbell, and nobody answered.
Oh, I actually didn't check this out.
So that's probably one of the, I've done through the BPOs. I've walked into places where, one time I felt terribly. Walked into a place, they had already broken into the door. And listen, I'm going to Brooklyn to do an appraisal. I am doing the appraisal. I'm not coming back empty-handed. So I walked in, did the first floor. It was a 2-family. I did the first floor. And when I got to the second floor, it was in the middle of winter. It was a freezing day, probably in the teens. And I get to all the doors the doors were taken out of the hinge, but propped against the door. So what I would do to not open the door is I would just stick my hand in with the camera and take the picture and stick my hand out. The last one I couldn't do that, so I kicked the door down, and the door fell, and it fell on the people that were sleeping in the house.
Oh man.
But it was such a it was a funny moment. But
My man tried to G.I. Joe that shit.
dude, it was so bad.
Yo, Luis, boom.
He said, "Appraiser, open up."
I'm here to do my job, people.
So, and, you know, you startled and they were sleeping. They were, you know, they broke in because I guess it was really cold. They were, you know, homeless.
yeah,
And
they
it's a terrible
startled.
situation to be in. And literally what I said was like, guys, I'm not the police. You can stay here. I just need to get a picture and get out of here. And I left. But that was a shocking moment where you, not to get all soft and, you know, but you think about what you have. You're grateful about the situations you're in. But that was crazy when, you know,
They're
you
watching
see
the
those people
podcast like, that was him. Yeah, that was him.
What office was he in again?
coming back for you. You woke me up.
I still have a headache from that. What about you, man? What's one of the craziest things you've seen?
Man, I'll tell you.
Besides that vault.
One of the vault, yeah. One of the nastiest things I've seen was I was looking at a flip property. It was in Amityville. Man, the whole house. It had a guest house too on this thing, and front house and guest house was covered in animal shit. They had 6 dogs that they let trapped inside the house.
Oh man, that's so wrong.
For days. For days, they would come by and give them food, give them water, and just left them in the house for days
that's
to
insane.
shit, to tear up the house. And I did it to the guest house, too. Then
Why
just
the guest house? Though?
everything. Front house, back house, and just shit on the walls. And, you walked into that we walked into that house, and it was nasty. I called up the agent. I was like, yo, what's going on here? He's like, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That's what he said. He was like, yeah. He was like, you know, trapped dogs inside for a few weeks. He was like, made them shit all over the walls.
Pretty shitty situation.
Dude, it was horrible. That was nasty. That was nasty. I had another guy in Cold Spring Harbor. We were getting over to the house, and he was like, I was like, oh, I'm coming to the house now. He's like, yeah, don't go in. I was like, what do you mean don't go in? He was like, we just got a squatter in there. We're like, what? You got a squatter? And we go up. We actually go inside. Nobody's there. We're knocking on all the doors. And upstairs, there's like they're all like blunts, wrappers, beer bottles, needles, a whole bunch of crazy shit in there. And this is Cold Spring Harbor. So like,
Yeah, that's
a very nice
area.
very nice neighborhood. So we left, and I called him. I told him we got in, and he was like, "There's nobody there," and I was like, "No." So then he goes back, like the next day, and he's back there. The squatter's back there again, and he's like, "How'd you get in?" He was like, "The squatter's there when I came." And I was like, "I don't know." I was there. They know it was there. We went in. We looked at it. He's like, "Yeah, but this guy's still trapped here. So what are we gonna do?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yo,
man.
I've stayed at Ohika Castle over there, which is really dope.
Yo, that's.
It's
I haven't
dope.
been
You
Those
guys ever been there?
I driven by. no,
This
but
guy.
so those higher end areas, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But so I had a listing there from a guy who was flipping a house in East Northport, and we got a call from the police one day because my listing stuff is there, and the Nassau County calls and Suffolk County calls and says, "Hey, you're the listing agent. You have to come. We just broke up a party in this house." And so they caught 2 people. Everybody, of course, right now they can't arrest anybody unless they are in the house. So they caught 2 people, and we asked the guys like, "How did you guys get in here?" So apparently, what these party
Listing agent
promoters
left the
are
window
doing,
open.
no, the party promoters, what they're doing is that they're looking in Zillow, they're looking at vacant properties, and then they're saying they're going on TikTok or Instagram or wherever they big party at this property or whatever.
man.
Come down, they break in before everybody gets there. Everybody throws a big old party, and then they leave. And
That's crazy.
craziness. So those higher end areas, when you would think, no security system needed, that would only happen in this or their area. That you could see crazy things. Could
You know what's still crazy? You get squatters at all levels. I don't know if you guys read like the news, but there's multiple cases in the Hamptons right now, $5, $6, $10 million properties
What?
of hedge fund guys, real estate developers squatting
Yeah, no, I've
at
seen that
$5
on the
million
Real Deal on
properties, $10 million
Instagram.
property. That's not the first one. That guy was a hedge fund guy. There was a real estate developer a few months ago who's been squatting, and then one last year who was squatting. It's a crazy situation,
That's
no
a
matter
crazy
what
one
level.
though with the party there.
Dude, imagine.
James would have been like,
Yeah.
I'm here at the party now. I gotta go. Bye.
You're not pre-approval.
Yo, the cops are here. Woo! Yo, before we close it out, what's some advice you guys could give to like new agents? Because we have a broad audience that people always tune in. So, what would be your advice? You be a young guy,
Yeah. Get into a different business. Nah, I'm just definitely you gotta go back to the old school ways. Sometimes it's a lot of people promote new school. Go for it. Do a mix of both. Hit the internet. Do geo leads. Do geo fencing. Zillow leads. Whatever you need to do. Work with a mortgage broker who'll give you door knockers. Just make sure they do it. And just go back to the basics. If you don't like door knocking, you don't like cold calling, do open houses. There's 1,000 different ways. Talk to your family and friends and get it done no matter which way it is. I think that's the best thing you could say. You got to do a mix of both, new school and old.
I just think be creative. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of avenues where you can create business. Keeping it old school, the basics always work. Finding a mentor too, somebody honest that could teach you the ways and tag along with those people until you can take off. There's a lot of heavy hitters right now that need help. And if you're willing to put in the work, the benefits will come out afterwards. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate all the stories, man. It was a pleasure having you guys on. Any last words?
I'm waiting for my door hangers.
I'll post up on my story when I give it to you. Might take a few months though.
What about you, bro?
Thanks for having us, and it was a blast.
Where can people contact you guys?
You can find me on Instagram at Nick Conti _realtor.
Don't follow him. He has enough.
Or you can get my cell phone at 718-314-8577.
And my cell phone number is 516-881-0126. And my Instagram handle is listed by Luis. That's it.
Last name? Luis,
that's it. My last name.
Listed by Luis. I like
By
it.
Luis, that's it.
That's good. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We are going to close out. It was a pleasure having you both on the show. Oh, what are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. Just hold money. That's it. That's it.
Yo, shout out to Realty East. Shout out to Realty East, New York in the building. Adrian Williamson in the building. Shout out to Realty East, New York. All right. Yo, close it out. Come on, bro.
Nice hair, bro. All right.
I know.
Thank you for tuning in. That is episode 17 in the books. Cue the outro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your ex.